This month we'll see the introduction of the Government's Employment Rights Bill, which will contain a range of proposals which have the potential to transform how the UK labour market operates. Over the last couple of months, we've been in the public policy team at the CIPD engaging closely with civil servants on a range of the proposals which will be in the bill. So, for example, on statutory sick pay reform, on plans to end exploitative zero-hours contracts, to restrict the use of fire and rehire practices, and to introduce a new right to disconnect. We've also been holding focus groups with members to really understand their views as the details of these proposals emerge, ensure they're being fed back to policymakers ahead of the publication of the bill. This afternoon, our Chief Executive, Peter Cheese, was in a meeting with the Deputy Prime Minister, Angela Rayner, and the Business Secretary, Jonathan Reynolds, as well as other employer-side organisations and the trade unions, looking in particular at the proposal to introduce day one employment rights, potentially through the removal of the unfair dismissal qualifying period and the introduction of new statutory rules around the use of probationary periods. Now, Peter made the point that we really do need careful, meaningful consultation around these proposals to ensure that there are not unintended consequences, that there's not an increase in the cost and risk associated with hiring staff, which could actually also disadvantage workers, might mean that we see more temporary workers or people who maybe need more development, like young workers, for example, being marginalised, less likely to be offered jobs. Certainly looking forward, once the bill has been published, we'll be engaging again very closely with members, making sure that when those consultations around the proposals are published, we are feeding back the views of members and hopefully will lead to better legislation that benefits both workers and the business community.